everybody, welcome back to the Joel Show, where today we take a look at the LEGO Custom JHS B&L Luxury. Hello everybody, I'm Joel, and I recently built another vessel for my JHS fleet. This is JHS B&L Luxury. Now it's called B&L Luxury because it's supposed to be a passenger liner, which is where luxury comes from, I would imagine. Because most cruise liners are very on the more luxurious side. And this one is supposed to take some of those aspects, so let's go ahead and start up at the bow and move towards the stern with the external view, and then we'll take a quick look at the interior. So starting at the bow, the whole entire bow is brick built, unlike any of my other builds. Has a little bow ornament here, a little flag. I just kind of added that so that it would have a bow ornament, because I feel like a larger ship should have one. And then all of this being brick built, it did take a much longer to build than some of my other ones that are just one pieces, because this is the very first fully brick built one. This is all just slopes and some things hiding the gaps, and it is like this on the other side, but if I flip it around I'll mess up the frame. And then moving back, we just have a very long straight sort of box area with some windows. Got some of the bigger ones here, got some opening shades, or I don't know what you'd call these, but you can in fact open them just like that. And then it's like that on the other side as well, which I'll show you in just a minute. And then from there you just got a whole bunch of small windows. There's 4 on either side. And then before I move back any further, we'll take a quick look at the bridge or the cabin. So I did add the little notifiers for here, which, okay, if I can turn this around, there's the red notifier there, and then the cab is actually quite a bit large. It's larger than any build that, or any cabin that I've built, with just 3 sets of these windows. So I'm taking the sort of Titanic aspect, which the Titanic actually had 9 windows, but this only has 6, but it still kind of resembles what the Titanic would have had, because the Titanic is the main inspiration for the big vessels like this one. And then inside, obviously, unlike the Titanic, you have a whole bunch of computers in there. There's a couple levers, which, if I can get the little roof off, which this is supposed to come off properly. It's supposed to come off like this, but it doesn't always do that. And then inside, you can see a little bit more. You got a steering wheel up in there. There's the captain. He does actually have a captain's suit on. And then you just got some more controls, some levers, and cabinets, and all that sort of thing. And then moving down, you have the whole entire bridge tower, or the foundation. Moving back, you have some ladders for detail, and then in between, just some slopes to sort of fill the area. And then back here, this is my very first vessel to have a smokestack, which, right here, this will lead into the interior in just a minute. The engine room is under there. You can also open the lower deck hatch right there, which is just held together by 2x2 on the bottom. And then it fills that little spot just like that. And then, well, the roof can clip back on, but you have to have 2 hands to actually do that. And then, well, with that being said, we've basically taken a look at the whole entire exterior, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the interior. So for the interior tour, I've taken a couple things apart, like the roof and the smokestack and that sort of thing, so that we can take a look at the interior. I'll go and start back here at the engine room. You have 2 of the little 3x4 engine pieces. One has some vents on it, and then the other one has that sort of intake piece, even while a ship wouldn't have an intake, because there's no air rushing in. And then this guy right here is supposed to be operating the engine right there with that control panel, because this is supposed to be all futuristic, sort of, if you want to call it that. And then back there you got a little steering wheel to be sort of a lever or a gauge to release pressure and that sort of stuff, mainly just for detail and looks. And then moving forward, we have the open sea pool with the diving board, which I call it open sea because you're supposed to be able to jump into the pool, which would potentially have a glass box protruding out of the bottom of the vessel, and then you could look out into the ocean, and obviously it'd be reinforced so that, you know, nothing breaks in and floods the ship. But I don't have that here because I don't have the pieces to build that, and it would also sit quite awkward. And in the future, I will probably add some rooms in here, because there is quite a bit of space up there, so that you can actually imagine fitting a couple people. Like, you're basically just going to be standing in the middle of a room if you take this cruise liner.